Yo, what's good, everybody? We are back once again. And so, I've been getting quite a few questions lately about how I build my melodies and chords and that stuff. So, I thought, why not make a video on it? We're gonna start like very, very simple, right? So, I'm not gonna go like completely in depth on everything because I know that you can search up things for yourself. And yeah, so I'm gonna start out with just like talking about minors and majors, right? So if we are gonna have C as the bass note, like if the scale is in C and we have a major scale, every white note in here is gonna be major up to the next C again. So that's the major scale, right? But if we are gonna put the minor scale as well, we are just gonna move some notes in here because the minor is instead of this right here, it's gonna be like this. So that's the minor and that's the major. And as you can see, there is a very distinct kind of difference in here, right? Is that in minor, these two notes are just gonna be brought down one. So that's the basic difference in like major versus minor. And so one thing I think about a lot when like I build chords in these like different kind of major or minor, is that we can actually count it very basically. Like, so this is a minor, for example. As you can see, it fits into the scale. And so how I count it is that minor is 3/4 and major is 4/3. So that's like 1 2 3 1 2 3 4, and major 1 2 3 4 1 2 3. So that's the basic like triads when it comes to major and minors. And it also has this kind of composition when you build more notes on it, like a 7, a 9, an 11th, etc. So a 7th on here is going to be there. That's a C minor 7. And it has this note, as you can see, it builds on top of that. And so the major is going to be this one right here. And there's like a very typical notion as well, like something that I know you get taught a lot is that minor is usually more portrayed as sad in some kind of sense, and major is more like happy, which can both be false but can both be true. It all depends on the context that you build stuff. Like you can make major sound very sad too, if you really want to, So there's no real like, how do you say, like restrictions to any of the scale. I find that I usually work in minor more, and that's because I prefer like how the melodies like progress in that kind of sense. But the thing is, one thing to note here is that a minor scale can also be a major scale, but it's gonna be a different root note. Right here, it's the same as the A sharp major, as you can see. So, C minor is the same as A sharp major, which is kind of weird because that, like, how do you like determine if it's a major or minor? And that all comes down to the progression, right? So it depends like how you incorporate your chords or like the whole progression. So like 1 1 5 2 and those kind of progressions, I don't know them like super well, so I'll recommend to look up that yourself. So that's also why you can make major sound sad, and minor sound like major too, if that makes sense at all. But yeah, that's the basic like minor major like kind of differences that I can note. And so if I would paint up a basic chord progression right now, like these chord progressions, I know a lot of people ask about them, and it's that this is one thing that you don't really like learn over a day, if that makes sense. because like chord progressions, there are so many variants to it, and you are gonna find the ones that you really like. And so for the most part, also like R&B, like soul and that kind of stuff, like they usually have similar kind of chord structures, right? What differs them a lot is the inversions they have. So for example, this is a very basic chord progression right here. That's like you kind of hear like the bass note progression, do do do, something like that. And yeah, and then you can do different inversions to it. You could like place it like this, and you can do it like this, like a little things like that. We could do that. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, you can add notes right here. You know, as long as they're in scale, it's gonna sound pretty good. Notes as long as they are in scale. And so that kind of is how I built chords in that kind of sense, is that you have the basic chords, right? So if you have these progressions right here, like this right here, this is a C major, C major 7 down to an A minor 9. And how this is a minor is that, remember before the notion about like 3-4, 4-3. This is a 3-4, so 1 2 3, 1 2 3 4, as you can see from the root note right there. And this would be a major. And that kind of sounds cool too, but you gotta make it blend together, you know, in that kind of sense. It almost like becomes like a bit of Tyler the Creator to it, you know. Yeah, you can make that work. There's no like real limitations to it. It's all about how you incorporate everything together. But yeah, so and how I built my chords on top of this to make them sound like unique, or like different, how do you say, like human is a better word, is that I can do this kind of like add-on sometimes, like this. It just sounds a whole lot more human just by doing that stuff. So you can like do this. Like I usually play in my stuff as well, like on the keyboard, so it will be a bit like this, just like by default, because I play the piano. But you can do this in MIDI too. Like there's no like real restrictions to it. It's all about how you put everything together yourself. Something like that, maybe. Yeah, a passing chord right there. Ooh, I love that kind of. Wait, can we make that work? Wait, let's just see. So. Okay, yeah, that kind of sounds like a happy ending or something like that. Oh, what the fuck? Dude. Okay, yeah, but. And so we could change the intervals, like just like this. And that sounds a little bit better, but it's still like. Isn't really like how I want it. Yeah. Yeah, okay, it sounds okay, but it's nothing special in my opinion. But yeah, so a passing chord like this, for example, I believe this is dominant. Maybe diminished. Like there are different kind of those kind of weird chords, I'd call them. Is that there are dominant, there are diminished, and there are augmented. Those are the like three that I can think of in my head right now. Diminished is basically like 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Yeah, it's basically threes on top of each other. You know, it's like 3 3 3 3 3. It's not like 3 4 or 4 3 as it is in the major or minor. And the augmented is basically major but with a sharp 5, so that's augmented. Then we have the dominant, and so dominant is going to be a major but with a minor 7th. Yeah, that's basically it. So we got the basic, like this is a major, this turned out to be a minor, for example, and these are also minors but with a different inversion to it. And we got a diminished, we've got an augmented chord, and we've got a dominant chord. So those are the like kind of different chords I can think of. I don't really use these a lot, you know, like I only use them as passing chords, as they are usually like incorporated in 2 songs as passing chords. Because this type of chord right here, all of these kind of chords right here has a tension to them, right? They need to be resolved into something, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so that's basically it about chords and scales. So next we'll go into melodies. And so melodies, like when I build them, usually let's bring up another chord progression, right? So for example, if I would use this chord progression right here, let me just play it in. Wait, sorry, I gotta start my keyboard. Yeah, it does that kind of weird thing when it. Okay, yeah, it works now. Let's. I'm just putting a chord progression right quick. I'm gonna lower the tempo as well. Yo, so if we got this right here. This is a very like basic chord progression. It's like a 1/5. It's very commonly used in swag type stuff, if you know what that is. And so it's a very melodic progression, right? It's a very like melodic type of chords. So you can build so like many type of melodies over here. So basically when you build melodies, right, is that you can just build like with the notes you have in the scale, right? So if we have this chord right here, you can imagine like, yeah, what notes do I hear fit to this chord? What notes are appropriate, right? And so I can just look at it right away and just say that this is gonna fit super. This is gonna fit super too. Like all of these notes sound great together, and depending on the context of different chords, the different progression you have, you can also add those type of notes that would be a tension. So like half notes. So So this note right here, you can fit that into the melody as well, but it's gonna sound like a bit out of place right now, but it's still gonna fit if you have like a progression that fits to it. So if we're gonna bring back the other chord right here, you can see that this note right here is the same as the top note right here, right? So that's gonna fit perfectly together. It's not a problem, right? Because it resolves back together. So I wouldn't want to start with that, but I can have it right here. So that kind of works, right? It sounds very like dissonant, but it works. It works. Like it would probably not be like what you really like prefer to hear, you know, but it still works. Like, and also I think to mention as well is that how you the appearance of the notes, right? That is very important as well. So velocity, like how you use velocity, that does a whole lot to it. So for example, this note right here, like lower notes, if we bring them down, we're gonna hear the top notes a whole lot more, and that speaks for itself a bit. But I don't think people like recognize that too much, you know. So play around with velocity a lot, because that does a whole lot. So if, for example, if we got these type of like these are kind of low pitch, right? And that would be a problem usually. No, let me just do this instead. This right here, this, like, for example, right here, this doesn't sound right, you know. It sounds like too low, just like that. But just by lowering the velocity of the lower notes, we can still have that chord. And as you can see, like with these like low notes right here, they're gonna clash with each other pretty prominently. So just by lowering the velocity on those notes, it's gonna sound a whole lot better. And also you can play around with inversions, so bring up these two, lower this velocity, you got a whole new chord, right? So inversions and velocity usage. Use velocity and use inversions. And so yeah, we got a chord progression right now that's kind of, that's the same bass note, like that very like typical bass notes, but the chords are pretty unique, right? Yep. Evolving melodies on top of the chords, right? It's you will get it eventually. So you kind of like hear what you want to put eventually, right? But just don't be like just don't be resistant to switching up the melodies or changing them when you progress with the like beat or the sample and stuff like that. I usually like change my melodies a lot of the times when I cook up, because sometimes they just don't sound good, you know, and sometimes they will just not like fit into the context of the whole thing. So don't be afraid to change your melodies like after you build stuff. Don't be afraid to go back to and change stuff you don't like, right? It's a cook up. It should be, you should be satisfied with the whole thing, right? There shouldn't be like anything that you bother yourself on too much. But yeah, so that's basically it when it comes to that kind of stuff. And I don't know like what more to say about it. Chords and melodies, or they are just like the kind of stuff that you will find yourself like eventually, you know. Like it's that kind of, with music as like everything is that you develop your own like personality into it, right? So you will like find your own sound, and maybe that will resonate with many others, or maybe it won't. It's all about what resonates with you, right? Because if you can't make music that connects with your soul, then how do you expect anybody else to like it, you know? And so if you make like, let's say if you make like those kind of like techno stuff, if you make like that house, if you make anything, like it could be in my opinion like as to like, I don't like necessarily have to like whatever you do. You don't necessarily have to like what I do, right? But that's the beauty of music, you know. That's the beauty of music, is that everyone has their own preference, and everyone will like their own like kind of taste, you know. Everyone has their own taste, right? So remember that when you make music, you essentially like do so many like intricate and small decisions all the time that will basically build up into your own sound. So that will become your musical own like personality a bit. Like I could name drop like so many producers, and you will right away like recognize the sound, or like remember like what type of sound they had, you know. So like Pharrell Williams, you would know when it's a type of Pharrell Williams beat, right? You would know like when, yeah, I don't know, let's say like Lodoni, for example. Like you would recognize his sample, you know. You would like recognize his type of sound, because that's his personality in some kind of sense, you know. But yeah, so like music is for everyone, but at the same time it's not for everyone, right? It's about like the ability to make something that will resonate with others. That's what separates like bigger like producers or like musicians from anybody else. That's what makes like Taylor Swift huge as well, you know. She can like resonate to so many other like people, like girls for example. And that's the thing, is that some people just have that kind of ability, you know. Some just don't have that. And it's also something you can work on, of course. Like it is with your own personality, right? You can always become a better person. You can always become like a better human being, right? But just being human, by being human and allowing yourself for errors, allowing yourself for being in the development phase, right? For being in the practicing phase, for learning, like accept that you aren't the best, right? I'm not the best at all. Like I learn every day. And for some of you, like I will not like completely see it. Like some of you think that I'm good at what I do, right? And so I will always like live with my own doubts, you know, like with my own doubts. Like for me, this doesn't feel like anything special at all. Like this is just common sense for me, because I've done it for such a long time. But I know that if I would go back like 3-4 years or something like that, and then see this like video right here, like something for me would click, you know. Because I would be like, oh, okay, yeah, so that's how that works. But it's like, it's one thing to see how it works, and it's one thing to fully like understand how it works, right? And so that thing just takes practice. Because I know like some of you will see this and then be like, okay, yeah, so I understand now. It is like that with maths and like physics too. Like you can see it and you can understand, but the thing is like incorporating it into your own thing, and then being like being able to stand on your own legs when it comes to building this kind of stuff. That just takes practice. So don't be harsh on yourself if you don't like go into it right now and then just like cook up something absolutely crazy and be like, oh, what the hell did I just do? Like it's gonna come with time. Trust me, like everybody has been through that like kind of phase of practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing. Like it's not, you're never gonna be like complete, you know. And that's also the beauty of music as well, because it is so abstract, right? Because music is so abstract. there will never be like a limit or a roof to whatever like will work, you know. So for example, like I'm super happy to see the producer community become what it has become. Like if I would say like my opinion on it, like the producer community right now, like the music in the underground and everything, it's so much better than it was like 3, like 7 years ago, even that. Like it's so much better in my opinion, because there are also like, it just has evolved so much, you know. It has evolved so goddamn much. It's humanity. So like the producer community and like musicians, they evolve like with the surroundings of the world. So for example, right now it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like unstable in a lot of parts, you know, like the Americas and stuff like that shit. It's super like unstable. And so with like instability comes the people that find a way to express themselves, right? And so music is like a creative outlet. It's like a outlet for so many things. Like music has meant so much for so many people, and that's what I love about it too, you know. Like people can use it for so many reasons, you know. It's like every reason there is, like music has an answer to it, you know. So find your own like relationship to music. Find your own like, what do I like? Who am I in music, right? I love listening to like 70s type of jazz, like type Italian movie, like, yeah, you name it, like that type stuff. That just is me, you know. Like I love that type of shit, and that will like reflect in the stuff I do too, right? I will take a lot of inspiration from like Piero Piccioni or like Umani or like Ennio Morricone or like Joao Gilberto, like that type of, like them type of like musicians, like Laurinda Almeida, like a lot of them, like Masayoshi Takanaka, you know, like so many of them that I look up to, and so many of them that my sound will like take inspiration from, whether I wanted to or not. So allow yourself to create your own personality in music, right? That's the thing, and that takes time. That takes time and practice, and that takes the willingness to stick through it all, because you're not gonna be great at all in the beginning. And I know that a lot of people are super proud or like have a lot of pride and will be like, yeah, okay, so I've made one beat, log in with me, bro. And I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna be like, okay, yeah, like I can hear that you've made one beat, bro. Like I can hear that. I'm sorry. Like it sounds okay, right? But it's not gonna be like anything special, because you can hear when you've made one beat. Like everyone knows that, right? Like it's gonna sound like shit. It's gonna sound like shit to everybody else, but it maybe sound good to you. But it's no hard feelings in that at all, bro. Like it's no hard feelings with that at all. You just gotta stick through it. You just gotta allow yourself to learn. And that's why I never like talk bad to people that send their like first like beat to me or something like that. Yeah, okay, I made my first beat, bro, listen to this, like I'm super proud. Yeah, like I'm super happy for you. Like that's how we all start out. But just allow yourself to be a beginner, you know. Allow yourself to be a beginner. Yeah, so that's it for the video. I'd say I just like babbled on there quite a lot. I don't know if anybody's gonna listen to it, but yeah, so thank you all for watching, and I hope you'll have a great rest of your day. Peace out.